Qigong and Tai Chi are really ancient forms of mindfulness. And so we could just have a lot of respect for that the millennia of this form, but not expect that we're going to be able to do all the perfections of the Tai Chi forms. But mostly what it was created for, especially Qigong, was for the flowing of qi of every kind and healthful properties, and to be able to come into the relaxation response and to stop thinking so much. And it's about being a part of nature and being one of those, or being one with those forces that work towards balance in the universe. So with that, if you could instead, when you find yourself thinking, breathe instead, okay? And open your mind, open your heart, and please don't worry about doing it right, and nothing is supposed to hurt. So if it's hurting, then what your masterful self is mindfully doing is finding a way to make it work for you. So if you look really different from everyone else doing it, great. All right? So let's just warm up a little bit and feel your feet and unbend. Thinking not really that you're going to bend your knees, you're just going to unlock. And this is called Wuji pose. And Wuji is almost like the mountain. So you have a sense of rootedness, like way deep in the core of a mountain. And then all the life in between, and then the peaks up at the top. And your chest lifts a little bit. You're lifting your torso out of your waist, but feeling that rootedness. And just take a moment, sinking down but rising up at the same time. And then let's begin by, this is what they call raising water. And then sink a little bit. Sinking as, how far do we sink? Just as far as you can keep smiling. Let your breath and your movement find cooperation. So mechanically we're bending and straightening, rising and lowering, but see if you can internalize this a little bit more, as though you are moving the mists of time, combing through the chi with your fingers. The face can soften, the jaws can soften. And what if we widen our legs just a little bit? Not that much. And then as we rise, then we'll sink and move to one side. Doesn't matter, we're not going to worry about right and left here. Easy. So you're checking in with your hips, your ankles. And then let's come to the center, and what if you lean a little forward over your toes and sink back? So there's a sense of not just up and down, but a forward and a backward and a kind of cyclical thing. Now let's take this same thing with a side to side, and no concern about, oh, am I supposed to be raising my arms when I'm bending my knees? And you're not worried about that at all. It's kind of, you're finding your own way to breathe and move with the cycles of nature. And then let that booty slide back as the arms float up. And then the pelvis moves forward a little bit, and then you ripple through the chest. And this is called rowing the boat on a stream of air. that there's little micro ripplings going on in your spine, your sinews. The tubes and the pouches are getting massaged. And you can allow your head to rotate and see how easeful it can be. So the head lifts up as you come up, and then it can rotate to one side. So it's as though you're on a boat, and there's this sense of lilting. Now let's try this, where your arms float out, and the booty can slide back a little bit and gather up, cross, and lift up. So this is called rowing the boat. And what you're doing here is you're gathering up the water from the lake and showing it to the sunrise. And then let's shift a little bit. And then the wrists cross. We'll step forward and reach down and swoop up. And it doesn't matter which way you go, because we'll go both ways. And cross the wrists at your major meridian points. Now see if you can easy in your back, easy in your knees as you gather up. Get a sense of weightlessness. So you have a sense of weightedness here. And up and back. Now we're going to shift through the center and row that boat. And now let's take these wrists and cross them and sink down. Up and over. So this is called Princess on the Mountain. Swing down. She's in her parasail, floating down into the valley below. Ask yourself, how's my back? How's my neck? See how harmonious you can be in these movements with your breath, using your weight, using that leverage from the earth through your bones. And then let's sweep a little side to side. I have a little bit of a suspension and then a dip. Now we'll slow it down and sweep and reach a little behind you. It's like you're looking up at the moon. And that booty slides back again. And get a little perspective up there. Now, for you today, it might mean less. Less is going to feel better. Keeping the arms a little lower, shifting a little bit less. May feel more profound for you. In any given moment, you want to be aware of that. All right, let's step in. Take your time. And let's sink down and bring in some chi. Inhale when you're ready. Take a big quaff of chi and draw it in. And try this if it works for you. Let your shoulders pull down even as you're rising the arms up. To give yourself lots of support. The points of the shoulder blades reaching down as though your arms are coming from your back. Now sliding that booty back again, let's clasp the hands, big breath, nice and slow as you draw up, rotate the palms, look up, see if this is okay for your eyes to look up, stretch, but don't bring it all the way to the tense end, just leave yourself a little bit left. Then your chin comes in, sink, let the elbows bend and the knees bend and swoop back. Inhale. This is called holding up the heavens like a pillar. Stretch, open, make sure it feels good, and then chin comes in, soften. Let's do one more of those. And now let's pull up like so and separate heaven and earth. One hand presses up, one down, and just really press. But you're still unlocked in your knees. So they call this separating heaven and earth, but really you can also think of connecting heaven and earth right in the center of you, right in your core, right at the dantian. And we're going to add to this little bit here as you stretch up. Then reach your high hand over to the other side, and the other hand kind of come across. And you're the boss of how far is far enough. And then we'll come in, sink, switch the hands. Reach over, make sure it feels really wonderful. And then draw that dantian in as you come in. Let's play with that sensation again. As you press down, really get in touch with the muscles closest to the bones and reach, lengthen while you're still staying secure. Now press into the ground while you pull up your dantian. And let's find this ball of chi right in front of you. And with real soft shoulders, easy does it. Your neck is free, your jaws are free. And have a sense that your palms of your hands are containment fields of this very real energy ball that you have here. And you can feel there's this kind of magnetism. And let's bring it up like so. And let's take this top hand and sweep it. And pull the other hand back and look behind you. Both palms point up. Then take that back hand up and over, sink. It's like you have this bubble of chi here, and we're going to send it out. Reach back. And up and over. And as you look back and as you reach back, notice that your whole body can cooperate together. Your feet, your knees, your hips, your waist, your shoulders, your neck, and your eyes. This form in Tai Chi is called repulse monkey. It's like a defensive move, but it's an open-hearted one. It's defining your boundaries. You've got to learn how to say no sometimes, but with compassion. Now see if you can let this be even easier and softer. This is also really good for your vestibular system, to be rotating, turning the head, lifting the eyes up and down. All right, and then let's come and take this ball of chi, and then we'll disperse any energy that seems a little bit negative and judgmental, and come on up. Feel your power, the tiger, and return to the mountain. Tranquility of mind. So dispersing any negativity, and embrace your tiger. And return to the mountain. All right. So we're going to take a little walk down that hill, go a little bit. But let's pretend here that we're walking on air first. Just lift and shift. And we can also play with that ball of chi. We can gather up that ball of light. As you pour your weight into this corridor, the heavy one, then you have a light foot. So that's kind of an empty step, is what we call it, empty step. So we can take that empty leg and bring it right in.